Hey, what's up everybody? This is my review of Transformers Prime Autobot Ratchet. This is part of the Robots in Disguise line. This is a deluxe class figure. So let's first take a look at the packaging. And I do have to say I like the Transformers Prime packaging better than I do any of the previous movie line packaging. So I do like to show the packaging in the reviews. So you have a nice picture of Autobot Ratchet. And on the back, of course, you have a look at the bio. And a look at both robot and vehicle modes. And let's go ahead and take a look at Ratchet in vehicle form. So here he is, and pretty nicely detailed. Of course, he's got the classic Ratchet colors, being red and white. Got some silver here on the grill. Rolls really well. And the first thing to note is in terms of the scale, I would have to say in vehicle form, Autobot Ratchet is out of scale with other Robots in Disguise deluxe figures, because here is Wheeljack, a sports car, and Wheeljack is significantly bigger in scale, in size, than Autobot Ratchet. So this vehicle here should be bigger than this vehicle. So you have an idea of the scale slash size. However, in robot mode, that will be not a problem. They're actually the same height in robot form. So you get some accessories. You get these two blades here. They're just made of really flexible plastic. And what you're supposed to do in vehicle mode anyways is plug them in here to these two peg holes in the front bumper. And you have some kind of weapons here that Ratchet has mounted on his bumper. This one's not quite going in all the way here for some reason. But, you know, you get the idea. And, I mean, technically they fit in here, but why would you want to put them up there, right? So you do have those, but these actually are better used, in my opinion, in robot mode. Another thing is you see these two ports here. They just happen to be the same size as a Dark of the Moon movie deluxe class mech tech, or deluxe class and Voyager class mech tech weapon. So you can see there, you can give Ratchet here a quite a big weapons upgrade. So there's that playability, which is cool. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the transformation for Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise Autobot Ratchet. So now we come to the transformation part of this review. And I'm trying out a new style of reviewing Transformers. That is to say, I'm not going to show you the complete transformation like I have in the past, just the key parts of the transformation to basically cut down on the length of the video. Or give me more time to talk about my opinions, because I tend to ramble on a lot during my final thoughts. So let me know down below if you like this style. As you can see here, it's pretty straightforward. The instructions are pretty straightforward. The only difficulty comes when you actually have to form the side panels of the legs, which you can see right here. You got to pull this piece down, and you got to just maneuver it down so that you can tab it into the side of the leg. And really the key part of that is just to get that panel loose in the first place. And that panel actually is connected via a tab to what is the front of the vehicle mode. So you got to get that panel untabbed, and then it's pretty straightforward from there what you got to do. So you can see here we've got the legs done. Moving out to the upper torso, taking care of the arms now, transforming the arms. Arms come out like that. These are actually pretty straightforward. You know, sometimes Transformers, the arms are the most difficult part of the transformation sometimes on certain Transformers. This case, no. Very simple transformation for the arms. These panels fold in to the side of the arms, as you can see there. And the hands, of course, just swivel out. And then you come back here, you rotate that big panel down, and there's an automorph with the head that pops up automatically. So there you go, transformation for Robots in Disguise Autobot Ratchet. And so Ratchet in robot mode looks pretty good, especially with these weapons in hand. And one thing about the weapons is, as you can see, they hold really well. There's no problem with the weapons falling out or anything like that. And you can see how they are held in the hand, like that. Now what you can do is you can rotate the hand down into this position here so that you can kind of make it appear that the weapon itself is coming directly out of Ratchet's arm. So that's kind of a cool effect there. And the other thing about the robot mode is the fact that you can see his chest here. These aren't obviously the actual doors and the windows from the vehicle mode. Instead, Hasbro had to basically sculpt these in, which, you know, as a lot of people have said, doesn't really bother me too much because it seems to be a cartoon accurate look for Ratchet's chest. Now, if they had a Voyager class figure of Ratchet, then you would sort of expect to have these actually be the parts from the actual vehicle mode. But you can see, you know, they're actually, other than the fact that there's red and white and a bit of blue for the windows, you do have the head here that has some silver in it. There is light piping, you can see there, so he does have a glow to his blue eyes in certain light. And articulation wise, well, the head itself is a bit limited. You have this collar guard on both sides of his head that do tend to get in the way of articulation. But you know, it's enough that it doesn't really bother me. Then you have a ball joint at the shoulders. You have a swivel at the shoulder, and you have, well, actually at the bicep, and a bend at the elbow. And you just saw the articulation at the wrist. It's just a swivel joint there. And there is actually waist articulation present, which is cool. And you have the hips on ball joints. You do have a swivel at the thigh, bend at the knee, and that is your articulation for Robots in Disguise Ratchet. So, really nice figure, and it seems to be accurate to the portrayal in the cartoon. Okay, so size comparisons. Oftentimes people will ask, well, how does Ratchet compare in scale or size to other figures in the same size or scale class? So I happen to have RID Cliffjumper, Wheeljack, and Soundwave, and just as a fun bonus, back in the background here is Dark of the Moon Ratchet. So first off, let's compare Ratchet to Cliffjumper. And Cliffjumper actually is noticeably shorter than Ratchet, and I'm not sure if that's actually cartoon accurate or not, but I'm telling you right now that as far as the figures are concerned, Cliffjumper definitely is shorter. So we'll take a look at Ratchet next to Wheeljack, and they're about the same height. I mean, I could straighten out the legs here, and they're still about the same height if we compare them. They can see eye to eye, so to speak. So they're, as far as the toy is concerned, they're comparable in size. And then we have Soundwave here, which is a character that, and a figure that's rather, you know, tall and skinny. So we have a look at Soundwave next to Ratchet. Soundwave being the taller of the two. And finally, just for fun, I brought out Dark of the Moon Ratchet. And next to Dark of the Moon Ratchet, the Prime Ratchet looks rather small. He definitely is shorter in height, and definitely a bit less bulky. So there you go, just look at some size comparisons. So my final thoughts on Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise Ratchet. Well, my suggestion is buy all of the Transformer Prime figures you want first. The ones that are really exciting to you, the ones that interest you the most. Because Ratchet here is, he's a nice, solid figure. He's got great articulation, particularly at the shoulders, at the hips. Of course, he's got a nice Generation 1 Ratchet color scheme with the white and the red. but he's not the most interesting in my opinion. To me, I'm more interested in the Viacon, the Cliff Jumper, the Megatron, and the Soundwave deluxe figures, or Robots in Disguise figures. This one really wasn't on my radar, wasn't on my list. I just picked this guy up on a whim while I was out toy hunting. And so this was not a planned pickup. But I'm not displeased. I'm glad to have him. He's got great articulation, and I think it's a really nice Ratchet. So you really can't go wrong. I just would advise you maybe to pick up the more interesting figures to you first, and then pick up this guy last if you still have an interest to pick him up. Alright, well thanks for watching. This has been a review of Transformers Prime's Robots in Disguise Ratchet.